G'day, welcome to Country Music World. I'm Mick.
And I'm Jay.
Today we're going to take you down to the ACT New South Wales border to a little town called Bungendore, and we're going to talk to the front guy out of a very, very cool Australian band.
They've had a humongous 2016. They've played Tamworth, the Gympie Muster, and they've just come back from the Denny Ute Muster where they were playing with James Blundell.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty safe to say you're probably going to see that combination happen a little bit more, Jay. Subscribe to the channel, like and share the videos around, sit down and relax, and let's get to know a little bit more about Brewn.
It's my time, it's my life. This is where I come from. It's my time, it's my life. I hope you will come along, and I'm sure damn proud to say it. Welcome to my home. It's my time, it's my life. It's where I belong.
All right, Jay, so let's cut across and see we've got Mickey online. Are you online, mate?
Hey, Mick.
Hey boys, how are you?
How you going, mate? Welcome to Country Music World.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Oh, no. The pleasure is all ours.
It is.
It is. Where are you, mate? Are you tucked away in the warmth of your house, I presume?
Oh, definitely, mate. The weather's horrible here at the moment. We're in downtown Bungendore. The wind's howling. It's pretty ordinary outside, actually, but we're waiting for that summer weather to hit us. It's not like you guys up there spoilt in your sunshine.
Oh, it's horrible up here today. It's 31 degrees and not a cloud in the sky. So,
It's 22 in the air conditioning, but, you know.
yeah, it's a bit hot for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got the aircon on. Rub it in. Yeah, you got to rub it in.
Stuff up here in the tropics, mate. Hey, Mick, what got you into the game in the first place, mate? What put you into the country music headlights as such?
Well, first of all, the music itself. I mean, I grew up around country music as a young boy. My father's influences with Johnny Cash, Slim Dusty, and Chad Morgan, all those old tracks. I can remember going to school singing Chad Morgan lyrics and teaching all the kids Chad Morgan stuff when I was like in first class. And I think my teacher had to have a few words to my mother about it. I do recall that, actually.
What is a sheep with scrubby creek? I'll ask.
I've been coaching cheerleaders all my life. And all that sort of stuff. Yeah, not real good at school. But anyway, yeah, doing all that sort of stuff. So I had it around me as a young bloke, all my uncles and father. Right in that, my mother's influence was just Elvis. And that's all we ever got from her. But yeah, so I had all those influences. Then as I grew up, I obviously did the usual thing as most of the kids did in the late 80s and wearing tight leather pants and bandanas and trying to be, Bon Jovi or Guns N' Roses and did all the rock things, and which is great. It's all part of the growth. And
Guilty.
Yeah, there you go. we're all there,
I can never imagine him in tight leather pants ever.
Mate, you haven't seen him.
I don't know about that.
I wouldn't want to try and put them on now. But anyway, we did all that sort of stuff. Grew up in a little town called Mulgall, which it used to be just a little country town once when I was there, and now it's the Sydney sprawl sort of overtaken it a little bit. For those that don't know, it's very sort of close to Penrith around that area, so western suburbs of Sydney, so it was all AC/DC and Cold Chisel and all those sort of influences as a young bloke. Then as I've got older, started through some friend circles, actually opening my eyes up to people like Brad Paisley, Zach Brown, and all these great bands, and then also started looking at the Australian industry and started following it and looking how great it was, and it really opened my eyes to the industry in general. So prior to 2010, when I first sort of really kicked Brewn off, looking at the festivals and how it just really come across as a great big family and the fans and how loyal the fans were, and so at that stage I was becoming a fan myself, and I just thought, what, I want in. So started, and then I realised actually a lot of my writing, when I went back to some of the songs I've written in the past, I was writing country anyway. I just didn't know it. It was just the type of lyrics I was writing, all that sort of stuff. Weren't necessarily great rock songs. But a lot of them I've crossed over and written them, and now they actually are. A couple of them are actually on our very first album, Rusted On. So, and they were songs I was writing trying to write rock songs back in the earlier days, and also I realised they weren't rock songs all along. There was all those influences I had as a young bloke that was coming through, and I felt more comfortable writing country rock. I'm not going to say I'm a true blue country boy, because I'm not. I'm not going to pretend to be something I'm not, but country rock stuff, and and that sort of began my passion for the industry. Got to see how much of as I said before, the big family and the way how loyal the fans are, and then that's it. I'm addicted now, and we're in there, and boots and all. It's fantastic.
Mate, do you find that you just touched on the fans there and how loyal the fans are? Do you find crossing over from a rock era or rock and roll era that the fans are different? Do you think that our country fans are, did you get the same warmth and the love that you did now that you're getting in the country scene? Did you used to get that through the other genres?
Nowhere near as good. The country people are just the best fans in the world. They are country music fans, are the most loyal people that you'll ever meet. They buy your CDs, they share your stuff, they vote for you when you guys doing your little country music. You put it out there, next minute, boom, we're in the chart. And that's so cool that people do that. They take out their own time to do that for you. The rock. I'm not going to go bagging out people, but they tend to steal more music, and it's just different. It's a different vibe. The country music fans are so loyal, and they really make the whole thing work. Without the fans, it just would not work. I think that's what we've got over everyone else. Is the people that follow country music in general are just, as I said before, loyal as the cattle dog.
They're very passionate country music fans, that's for sure.
Yes.
Oh, mate, I've toured this country many, many times over a couple of decades now, and I still have some of my closest friends that I met 20-odd years ago at country gigs. Just met these people in the crowd, and then I go back the following year, and they're there again. It's like, hey, how you going? And now they're at my wedding. They're turned into good friends. So
there you go.
It's a very personal. You get to know your fans, and they know you, and they want to know you, and I love that. That's cool. It's close,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. We've got some good friends we've made that we met at gigs prior, and then we saw them again in Tamworth, and we're talking about accommodation in Tamworth, and they're like, how expensive it is and how hard it is for us, and they're like, you don't have a problem anymore. Here we've got these extra rooms, en suites. It's all the boys, just stuff like that. Like, what? You really? Okay, no worries, That's the sort of thing that I'm talking about, and they become friends. You dead right, smack on. They become good friends. They're not fans really; they're just friends.
Yeah.
And you go to the back to a venue that you haven't played in, like you said before. You might have been there for 12 months, but you go back and those same people are there again, and you're like, hey, how are you? It's like having a little reunion. Yeah, it's fantastic. We love it.
You were talking about CDs before. What's the current album called? My Town, that's right.
My Town's the album, the title track, we released a little while ago, and it's done really well. Yeah, we've got a lot of radio play, and some of the major players have been playing it for us, spinning in My Town. It's done really well, so we're really happy with the results so far.
Yeah, got any more singles coming?
Yeah, we just released Someday, which is off the album, and it's doing okay. It's in radio at the moment. Please request Someday for us, everybody. It's doing really good. And then we re-released Bollywood Cowboy, which is a song that we had on our older album. Through popular demand from some of the radio networks, they wanted to spin it again. We decided to re-release it with the new mastered version, the My Town version, like we call it. So it sort of matches the album a bit better with the mix, and it's a bit smoother, I would call the mix. So it's out to radio now as well. So there's 3 singles off it so far. We've got plans to release a couple more off there yet. A little bit more life in the My Town album, we think, at the moment.
My Town, the single that kind of sort of shot you guys to where you are right now. It's off the back of that. I mean, people took to it like a duck to water. Fans love this song. Radios love this song. The charts love this song. I love this song. Tell me about the process. Why? What was it that drew me to this? I mean, I know for me personally, it sounds different. It sounds sounds a hell of a lot different to anything that I'm hearing come out now. And so this thing was recorded where?
It was recorded with Mr. Robert Mackay at Harvey Bay,
Okay.
up at Pacific International, and Rob took us under his wing, and our captain coach now, I suppose. And he just got us, got the sound, and it actually was Rob's call to release My Town as our first single. We weren't actually even going down that road. He said, Mick, that's your single. Make sure that represents Brewn. You need to release that, and we took his advice, and I'm so glad we did.
It's good. There's an energy inside this song. And for the people that don't know, go and have a listen to this song that we're talking about. We'll make sure the link's below so you can. Go and have a listen to it, because there's and it's a tough one. There's an element of, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know. What was the recording process like, mate? Well, tell me how it actually got recorded, because there's something going on with this song and, your music that's for me, it sets you aside differently. So tell me, let's dive into this recording.
It probably has a lot to do with all the influences from the band. Like I said before, when I talked about influences, that's my bag. The other boys are completely different again. Johnny and Ant are a massive influence on the Brewn sound. They're twin brothers. Johnny's the drummer, Anthony's lead guitarist. All their life they've been playing music since they were little kids. If you actually look at the My Town video clip, there's a little shot, the old footage. Most of it is Johnny and Ant Super 8 footage of them as kids. There's a little bit of my kids in there as well, but most of it's them as kids. And there's a shot of them playing drums and guitar with their teacher, their school teacher. And that's real footage. That's them as the young kids playing music. So it doesn't get much cooler than that. That's the real deal, the boys, they came in, they've done the rock thing, but beforehand, they were in a band called Recipe. If you Google that, it's not going to be country, everybody. It was funk, sort of hip hop / rock / scratching DJs, the whole thing, right? It was not country at all. They came from that influence, and very funky as well, very rhythmic, and I think that's sort of a big influence in Brewn as well. They came along, and Johnny was kind of working me as a drummer a little bit beforehand, and then I said to Johnny, "This is my new project, mate. Country. This is where I'm going." And he was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." And then he said to his brother, "Oh, are you interested?" And it was like, "Country, And then he came over one day, and I handed him a Brad Paisley CD. I said, "Take this home, have a listen to this, and if you don't want to be in after you hear this, then fine." And he took it home, and he came back a week later and said, "Mick, I'm in." Yeah. He loved it. So he got a taste of how I suppose dominant the lead guitarist and how influential the lead guitarist can be in a country band. He realised, and next, it took a couple of years, and now he really is a country guitarist. He's not a funk guitarist anymore. That's who he is. But he's got all those influences from his early days coming through in the music, and I think that's kind of what you're hearing, which is a little bit different to another band where everyone's just been playing country all their life, I suppose. So we've got all these other influences there. I think Rob got what we're doing too, and then he recorded us in a real live sense. His objective right from the very start was, I want to record you guys like you are live, because you are a very live band. That's who you are. That's the animal we're treating. So let's give people in the recordings, let's give them who you are. Let's not pretend, let's not put all the fuzzy and warm stuff over the top. Let's give the raw sound of Brewn. So I think that's what you're hearing. But
I think that's what it is, and it's an element of taking nothing away. There's an element of non-tidiness in there, which is perfect music. Because music can be as perfect as we want nowadays in the current age. But all of a sudden, when you hear a band almost to capture a live performance, there's an energy and there's an ebb and flow that happens in the music when you've got a tight group of guys playing together at the same time, that you capture it, and it's not perfect, but that's what makes it live. It's like when you go and see you guys live, it's like, wow, yes, that's what it sounds like. It's exactly the same thing. That's a really cool thing. I like this sound. It's a really good sound.
Yeah, that's all we're going for. We didn't want to have that ridiculously produced sound, because hey, what's the point of that? You get to see Brewn, and then we sound nothing like our radio song. So that was a big thing for us. I mean, I don't know, maybe that might change in the track, but at the moment that's who we are, and what it was good for us at the time. And I think Rob saw that and he captured that, and it's almost like taking a photograph, isn't it, like on the album of who we are. And
It is.
And photograph of that time. You look back at it, we might look back later and go, oh, really? I had that hairstyle. Same sort of thing. Later on we might think differently, but at the moment, at the time, that's who we are. That's who we were, and that's who we are now. And onwards and upwards, of course. And I suppose that's great about any band is you get the growth there. You can see as albums come out, you can see. I mean, if you look at Rusted On, it's nothing like My Town. We were trying to find our feet there. It was all over the place. I listen to that album now and go, what the hell were we thinking? It's 1 minute's real country, the next minute's rocky, and it's, we weren't finding our feet yet. But with My Town, I think we finally got it and got the sound, Yeah.
Mick, you've had a big 2016. What would you say are the highlights of it so far for you?
It has been an amazing year. We started Tamworth, and I had no idea what we were in store for. We did the Mate Guitar Showcase. Got to play with Adam Harvey. Adam Brewn was there. Adam Exley there, and the boys. There was a heap of other artists there as well. I can't remember, my head was spinning at the time.
Adam
Adam
Goodigan, Adam Cole,
Adam Storer.
Yeah, Adam Storer, Adam Lawrence, all the Adams were there.
Yeah, that's right. So we're out there with those guys, starstruck in the green room with those guys. It was pretty cool, and that was the big highlight. And the year's just gone on from there. We've played the Gimpy Muster now. It's a feather in our cap. We've just recently come back from the Denny Ute Muster with performing with James Blundell. It's a massive highlight. We've done a few shows with James now. He's kind of taken us under his wing a bit. Talk about loyal fans. We did the Denny Ute Muster, and there was all those people out in the rain. There's so much mud and crap everywhere, and it was just. And those people didn't care. They were there. They were in the drinks, in their dry as a bones, getting absolutely, covered in mud and water, and they still sat there and watched our show and got right into it.
We kept a close eye on the Denny Ute Muster, mate, and it looked terrible. Like I was so glad that I decided not to go. As fresh as that sounds, it was freezing cold. It was raining sideways. I think it rained up people's noses at some point, and there's like 1.5 meters of mud from 400 kilometres around the joint. So.
Oh, so many people.
Sounds like
I would have loved to have a tractor on the alley hire on the final day, I reckon.
Now you were down there with James Blundell, mate. So tell us, how did you guys entwine yourself with James? How did that actually happen?
Quite a few years ago, we had a common friend, a guy that I was working with doing video clips from Tamworth, and he sort of connected us. We got to meet him in Tamworth, and then I was just talking to James, and I said, we're doing our little I think it might have been the Rusted On album launch, actually. I said, and he was doing a show in Goulburn. He goes, I'll come do a show with you, Mick. Just like that. And I'm like, what, really? So he came along, and sure enough, we played, and we got to actually be his band. We got to learn his stuff and perform with him as well, which is a massive highlight. I think Zach, our bass player, was his very first gig with Brewn, was playing with James Blundell. So I'm like, it doesn't get much better than that. He's actually a lot younger than us too, so he was this young boy, stereo boy. Here's your first gig, mate.
Yeah, nice.
So we had that, and then it's been a few years. We, haven't sort of crossed paths, but I just rang him out of the blue and said, "Hey, James, I got him down to do some shows down here in Bungendore with my little side project with Country Rocks, and got him in there, and I said to him, would you like us to play with you again? He's like, yep, let's do it, mate. Let's make this happen." And so we did the Steam Packet Hotel in Nelligan, actually. They call it Nelly Jam down there, and that went off. It was great. Another gig with all the country fans pouring the rain, and there they were again, So we did that show, and then we had him at the Bungendore pub the next day, and we played with him there. And after doing a few gigs with him, he just started sort of tooting our horn, I suppose, just telling everyone how great we were. And we're like, okay, he's just been nice. Or, no, the next minute he invited us to play with him at Denny. We're thinking, okay, well, he obviously means what he's saying, and we're pretty ecstatic to be invited to play at the Denny Ute Muster. So, yeah. So James, he just keeps endorsing us, which is fantastic. And this is the man, James Blundell. It's not a little thing for us. It's huge.
No, I love seeing this sort of stuff happening from our bigger artists, our bigger credible artists. Then they sort of, they help people through and they put you in a different area where, 9 times out of 10, you just got to work to get there. And these guys can make up the phone calls and on the back of what they've already done. I mean, James, how long's he been in the game? When did he win Star Maker? It's like 90-something. And, I mean, we're going back 25, 26, 27, 28 years, somewhere like that. Like, he'd be coming up to nearly 3 decades now, sort of frontline the country industry, and he's a big star, man. People forget because James is so accessible now, and he's out and about, and he walks down and he gets in and he mingles and he has a good time. And I think just over time that he's been around, they forget just exactly how big of a superstar this guy was. He's the biggest artist Australia's ever produced back in his heyday. I mean, you remember that when he went over to Timor to do that first, the big army thing, the Kylie Minogue and John Farnham and everyone else who was who in the big music industry in the 90s. Glenn Wheatley, I remember a conversation come out with Glenn Wheatley, John Farnham's manager, jumped straight on the back of James Blundell doing this thing. So they wanted to be on it because James was headlining it. So Kylie Minogue, John Farnham are wanting to be on this festival because James was there. So, man, he was big time, and he still is big time. But I think a lot of people I just think they goes out of their train of thought because he's so accessible, and it's like no one that big has ever it's just that guy standing there having a drink and mingling with us because we put him up on a pedestal. But that man, James Blundell, was an absolute megastar. And it's so cool. It's so cool that he's doing what he's doing right now, and he's back in and he's touring and he's right in amongst it again. And it's cool. It's great.
He is, and it's an absolute honour for us to be sharing the stage with him. We think it's fantastic, and hopefully there'll be more of it in the future. And also I know who I'll be bouncing my songwriting off these days now too, because I mean, what a songwriter! The guy is a legend. Some of the stuff he's come up with, and his lyrical content and stuff is just outstanding.
Absolutely.
Mickey, if you had to throw out some advice to some juniors coming through the ranks or some new people, even a couple of old farts like ourselves that decided we wanted to get into this game one day, and what would be the advice you'd sit down and say, okay, do this, and this is going to make it easier for you? What would it be, mate?
I think, especially as a band, it's just finding the right people to work with. Once you've got that group of people, build on that family of people that are around you. I think that's the biggest thing that Brewn's got. We've got a group of people that can work together and have common goals, and and then finding the right professionals that can help you develop as an artist in the business side of it, and as the image and all that sort of stuff that as a user you usually have no idea about. So just finding the right people that can do that, that are going to work with you and have the same sort of drive and also not going to rip you off too, because there's a lot out there that's going to do that. So, and then I suppose talking to other artists and getting in the industry. And like you said before, the country music industry is so nice and welcoming. You can talk to other artists. They will tell you, who not to talk to, who to talk to, and listen for those endorsements, because I think that's actually a big thing. Go off other people's mistakes and other people's advice, because listen, because you probably don't know everything. That's the other one. Some people do think they know everything, and they don't. That's one thing I've always done is listen to people. Sit down and get that advice and try and take it. Even if you don't take it, just listen to people. And also give back to the fans. You know, give a little. That's probably a big one too. You know, make sure you look after the fans. Get out there and when you're at the pubs and they, they keep requesting the gambler, give it to them. If they hate it.
Oh, he said it, Mick.
No.
See, you got a plan.
I'm gonna edit that out.
Yeah, what do you think of that one?
No, I'm not allowing you to say that. No way, that's gone. I'm gonna cut that out.
Yeah, no, that's what we all do, eh? That's what we all do. But what do you do?
That's it.
tough.
You're
it's one of those things
you
just
are
gotta give
absolutely
us-
right, but mate. You know, it does come down to the fans because at the end of the day, we talk about the industry and everything, but the industry is the fans. You know, they don't buy the records, they don't buy the tickets. We've got no one to play to. So
Correct.
play the gambler, Mick.
Nah.
That's it. We've got another guy that we work with, Bobby, a mate of ours, and he's like you. He just goes, nah.
Download it on Spotify. Listen to it as many times as you like. Don't go to a gig and ask for the gambler. Please stop.
It's
Stop.
usually what was Copperhead Road,
Mustang
Gambler,
Sally,
and
K-San,
K-San.
Well, I'll tell you what,
they gave me a bit of
Sweet Home,
fun.
Alabama.
Sweet Home, Alabama. If you come north of Brisbane, mate, it's horses.
You're going to
Darren
play the
Braithwaite.
horses up here.
Have you ever seen horses?
Yeah. We had that experience at Johnny Ringo's just recently.
yeah, well, welcome
see
to Queensland,
There
Ben.
you go.
I tell you what, I thought the Gambler was bad, but they love horses. Darryl Braithwaite, if you're watching this thing, come up here because these people are nuts about you up here. So, which is good because I get a break from the Gambler.
Yeah.
Hey, Mick, you know, you touched a little bit there at the start of that there. That you got to have get a good group of guys, right? So, you know, you're a band guy. You're not a solo guy. Brewn are a band. You're a tight unit. Do you think that's easier said than done, brother? To be able to get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 guys and travel day in, day out and sit down and be on the same page. How do you keep it together? How do you keep that energy happening nicely where it doesn't just implode on itself inside a vehicle?
You know what? That's very true. It doesn't always work, does it? And you can try your hardest. That's where a bit of luck comes in, I think, too. Just lucky enough to cross paths with the Barbara boys, and I don't think I gave Zach a good enough rap before too. By the way, that bass player, he's solid as a rock. The guy's he just gets us too, and I think he's. And he puts up with us too, you know, which is amazing. And I think patience is another thing, you know. But the personalities, your personalities have to match. If you find those people, if you can sit down and have a beer and have fun with people, like if they're that type of people that you become friends with, they're the right people. If you're not, if you can't be friends with them, you know what I mean? Like if you can't sit down and have a beer with them, then you probably shouldn't be in a band with them. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's probably a huge thing as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. It's not always going to work out, but every now and then the right people meet up. And I suppose when you look at some of the great bands in the past, I think probably the reason that they were so successful is because they were the right people and they all got together at the right time and the stars aligned and it was perfect. So
Yeah, it's easier said than done though.
It is.
Mate,
it is true.
when you sit down, because, you know, look, especially if you've got a group of guys that are releasing music and you're going into an industry and you're putting yourself on these festivals and you're in and you're out touring, but the primary thing here is you're selling merchandise. How does one sit down and keep it friendly? Because this is generally where the generic cat flies out the window and the fists come out. How do you guys that sit down like to have a beer sit down and just punch out the business side of things? I mean, do you sit around, you have a beer, or do you formalise that process so there's no black and white? It's just that's what it is. How do you handle this process?
Well,
Does this process happen?
As things have progressed, we've had to become a bit more formalised, I suppose. Things are getting a bit more serious. Put together like little partnership agreements and things like that. But a lot of the discussions we have are usually in the many hours we spend travelling in this great country of ours on the highway. So just talking as we travel along in the ute. But at the end of the day, you still need to have those formal things and just put everything out on the table, make sure people understand. I think communication is probably very important. Just put it out there and just talk to everyone. And you may not agree at first, but just put it out there, and then eventually you can work out an agreement that everyone's happy with. And as long as everyone's on the same page and everyone keeps talking to each other, it usually works out fine. So far, it's been good for us. And we've had our disagreements, trust me. That's, but I think that's what makes it real, like we've had our disagreements, but it's come good though in the end, and but we're like a big family, as I said before, 2 brothers are there, but really it's 4 of us, we're brothers now, that's who we are, and it's fantastic, it's fantastic sort of feeling to know that they got your back, and it is like family. And let's face it, family doesn't always get on. So,
So Mick, where can we find Brewn? Where can we find where you're playing and what you're doing, and keep in touch with your journey as a band?
Yeah, 100%. The main one would be, I suppose, the website.
Yep.
The website, www.brewn.com.au. That's probably the main one. The other one is our Facebook. Jump on our Facebook and like that, and say g'day. We'll always talk to you. Jump on there and message us. And we'll always say to gigs and say, send us a message, give us some attention, even if it's negative, because we just love attention. But look, that's probably the main ones. Just follow. We've got the gig guide there on the website, and we've got a few more gigs. Actually, one coming up for all the Sydney siders. We've got the cruise, the Sydney Harbour Cruise, on the 12th of November. That is a great deal. It's $50 a ticket, and you get the boat ride, you get us, the band, and you get all this finger food as well. It's awesome, the rhythm boat deal. So yeah.
We might start one of them up here, I think, Jay.
Yeah, like the tinny cruise.
Tinny cruise across to Maggie Island, featuring me and Jay. I reckon we'd do that.
We're just going to stop and check the crab pots along the way.
There's that cruise. There's a few guys doing these cruises, and they look like they're fun. What a cool concept! You hop on a boat, you have a few drinks, you get fed, you have a dance to a band while you're cruising down Sydney Harbour. Tough life.
That's winning.
Tough life.
Yeah.
How good is it?
Now you're obviously going to take some videos or live streams or photos of this thing to share with us, because
100%.
I want to see this more and more.
Sure.
Now, you're heading into Tamworth, Mick. What do you got there, mate?
Yeah, mate, we're Tamworth. We're at the surveys on the final Sunday. I think it's the 28th. We've got the Mate and Guitar Showcase.
Yep.
The Fan Zone, we'll be up in Fan Zone. There's going to be some other, I think, shows announced. We just haven't got it confirmed yet, but they'll to be announced. So again, keep an eye on the website. But we'll definitely be in Tamworth over that final weekend, the long weekend sort of thing, over Australia Day. So if you see us in the street, come and say g'day, because or come and have a beer with us. I know you two will. We'll have a beer for sure.
We'll be there.
We're going to have like 90 of them.
Yeah.
Mate, we've got you in our headlights now. We're definitely intrigued by it. We're going to come and find you in Tamworth, and we're definitely going to say g'day and hang out with the boys from Brewn.
That's it.
And, mate, we wish you all the best. Honestly, good luck with everything you're doing. Good luck with 2017. I know it's just going to be a fantastic run for you. And, this year already you've done Tamworth, great festival in Fest. Then you're the big muster at Gympie. You've done the big muster at Denny. You're doing pretty good, brother. So, look, you're great for our industry. It's good to have bands in our industry.
Yeah, I need more bands.
There's
more bands. Already.
There's more ridgy-ditch country bands coming in. Good, tight group guys that have good time, and I love going to watch a good band. Yep. So we're really happy that you're in our game, mate, and it's the least we can do is go and see you. So we're going to highly encourage everyone to go and support you guys, because if you want to have a good night musically, come and catch these cats. And if you want to have free beer, he buys beer. No, I just added that bit in, so you can just sort of smile and nod blankly. And
I'll turn up now, but
I'll turn up now. It doesn't matter how we get them to your gig, right?
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's
exactly.
Right.
Hey, Mickey, it's been a pleasure, man, and we really do appreciate you for taking some time out of your day today. And on behalf of Jay and myself and everyone in the country music world, we wish you the best, man, and we're going to be here for the ride.
Awesome, mate. You know what? From Brewn to the fans, and especially to you two and everyone else that's doing great stuff for the industry, we thank you for having us. We thank you for everything you're doing. We need more people like you two, because it's fantastic. Thank you very much, Country Music World. It's awesome.
Good on you, mate. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Mick.
No worries. See you, brother.
See you guys.
Did you like that interview and want to see some more just like it? Then check them out right there.
We've got artist interviews. We check out the festivals that are happening in your area.
We'll have a look at the country music birthdays, and then we'll dive back into the history of Australian country music.
We've got the CMW Country Artist of the Week chart as voted by you. And we also have heaps of weekly prize giveaways.
So give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because together we can make a difference in the country music world.